and get started with Coach Thompson.
Afternoon. Coming off a bye week, we had a excellent bye week last week. I thought it was a good opportunity for us. We'd been in between camp and the first few games, we'd been in about 7 or 8 weeks, and I thought it was a good time for us to kind of refocus where we were at. We had to do a lot of fundamental work. There's a lot of things that I thought we got exposed on over the course of the 3 weeks that we needed to clean up a little bit. Some of it was fundamental, some of it was schematic, so we worked on a lot of those. So it was very productive. We got healthy, and I thought, not that we were overly banged up or anything, but I thought that, we just allowed a little bit more time to get guys back into the groove. Some guys that have been coming back, that have been out for camp, started to get more reps, and that always helps out. So we were able to get some of those younger guys some reps. Focusing a lot on our twos, focusing a lot on just a little bit of interaction between the offense and the defense, and then getting our scout team some work as well. And that'll certainly pay dividends here in the future. We're certainly excited to be 3-0 right now. I thought we had a good start to the season. We put a lot of emphasis on that during camp, and we're exactly where we want to be at this point. We've certainly still got a lot of work to go ahead of us. Faced a lot of adversity in those first 3 games. We had to come back in each of the fourth quarters in all those games. It was very, very difficult for us at times, but I thought in each phase of the game kind of stepped up at some point. We had a great special teams return against Gardner-Webb. We had a great defensive stand twice, and then our defense played an outstanding game against Furman. And then I thought, a little bit of combined offense and defense versus a very good Mercer team. So moving forward, I think that all that adversity is going to come into play here in the next probably 8 weeks here, and hopefully we'll be able to make another championship run. I announced that Dominique will be our starter. He's with us here today. I thought it was a good opportunity for him to get a lot of work over the bye week, kind of get him back into the groove. And I guess my main concern was not how Jordan was playing, but more about how Dom was playing and if he was ready, if he was game ready especially. He was in great physical condition. I was a little bit concerned about his throwing. I think his timing has come around. We worked a lot on the timing of the pass game. And he's certainly a physical presence in there. He's a great runner. And I thought Jordan did a wonderful job of helping us to those 3 wins. And Jordan's certainly going to be an instrumental part moving forward. He's going to be a great quarterback in this offense, no doubt. And I do foresee him playing at least 1, and I told him maybe even 2 series, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, throughout the course of the year at some point. So I want to keep him actively involved, and he certainly adds a little bit of another dimension to our offense. Moving on to Western, they're a very good football team. They had a bye week, so they had 2 weeks to prepare for us as well, which can be challenging. But we focus more on ourselves during the bye week and getting better at what we do. And I know that they probably did the same there. They're a very dynamic offense. If you look at them on offense, they've got an explosive quarterback. He's a redshirt freshman. He's thrown the ball terrifically. I thought he's done a great job. He's a dual threat quarterback. He presents a lot of problems to us. We've got to make sure that we've got him well contained. They've got 2 wide receivers and an all-conference running back, and that's an explosive offense that's leading the league right now. So we've got to do a good job, not only on our defense, but we've got to do a good job of offense, of staying on the field and keeping our defense fresh and keeping them off the field. This Western team is 7-0 over their last 7 games. I don't think they've lost a home game in the last 2 years moving forward. I think that presents a little bit of a challenge for us. We had a good game with them up there 2 years ago, but we turned the ball over a few times, and they ended up beating us that day. So we've got our work cut out for us heading up to Western and playing in a little bit of a hostile environment. And I know that they've got a good crowd and a good band, and they do a good job with their program up there. Certainly will be a test for us. Any questions? Sure.
Coach, was the plan always to have Dom take back over as quarterback, or was there ever a possibility Jordan could have won that job outright for the rest of the season?
There was, and I think, like I said, it was nothing that Jordan ever did. It was going to be really how Dominique reacted to it, and that's not an easy position for him to be in. He had an injury. He was suspended for the first game, and we all know that, and he could have easily tanked that. But he embraced it. It was a challenge to him. He worked extremely hard with Coach Boucher training to get back onto the field. And then when he had his opportunity, I thought he did a great job of managing the football game and kind of getting back to where he was. So it was an attribute to him as well. Jordan, Jordan managed everything perfectly just the way I wanted him to, and then just having Dom's experience in there kind of helped us out in a lot of those fourth quarter comebacks.
More than a month into the season, did you expect your team to be 3-0 before the year?
You always have high expectations of it. We knew that we were going to face three challenging opponents, and when you look at it, way back in April or way back in May when you're just getting ready for these games, as you'd say, you'd love to be 3-0 at this point, but you can understand, say being 2-1 or 1-2. I mean, they're all good football teams right there. So we focused a lot on getting to the 3-0 point right now, but now we've got to move on. We've got to move past that.
You talked about the 3 close games to start the year. What'd you kind of learn, I guess, from your team in all of those games?
First thing I learned is that we've got tremendous leadership. We've got tremendous senior leadership. These guys believe that they can win, and no matter what, when the chips are down, we know that we've got an opportunity to win this game. We think that we're in great condition. My main concern about those 3 wins was we haven't played a complete Citadel football game yet. We haven't played offense, defense, and special teams together yet. And I know down the line right here, we're going to face some really good Southern Conference opponents that if you don't come to play on offense, defense, and special teams, you're not going to win those games all the time.
When you look at Western, they've played you guys tough, really tough the past 2 years. What stands out about them as you hit the road again?
I think once again they do a great job on offense. They put you in a lot of run and run pass binds on offense, and they've got themselves. They're a little bit of an up tempo. They do a good job. They've got I thought 2 extremely good wide receivers, and each of them do something a little bit differently. One, Spearman Robinson, he can go up and get the ball. They've got a great back, so they can get you in a little bit of an inside zone game, and they can get you on the inside as well. And then they added the dimension of the quarterback this year. I thought last year's quarterback was good, but this young man may be a lot better in the future because he's just a redshirt freshman. And then Coach Spear being a defensive guy, they're always solid on defense, fundamentally sound. So that's those are your major concerns right there. We've got to be able to drive the football and sustain drives. I don't think we did a good enough job, really, especially our last 2 games of establishing and sustaining drives.
Before last year, Citadel had lost 4 straight coming off of a bye. Is there anything to that? I mean, is it that much different coming off of a bye, preparing that week when you have 2 weeks?
There may be some sort of a science to it, but, we really didn't talk too much about coming out of the bye week. We beat Wofford out of the bye week last week. But really, I just thought it was a good opportunity for us to focus on fundamentals and focus on ourselves more than anything else. And it also gave us a little bit of an opportunity to get a break, midway through the season. We got 8 weeks left. We're somewhere around 7 or 8 weeks on the front end of that. So I thought it was a good opportunity for our guys to maybe just go home, get out of here, take a little bit of a break, and come back and get ready to finish out the season.
I guess 3 of your first 4 on the road to start the season, your next 4 of the 6 at home. What kind of character you think, builds within your team just starting the year away from home so much?
Well, and I was just thinking about that myself. It feels like we haven't been at home in so long. We've only been at home once this year. So yeah, that's going to be difficult. And heading into the month of October, we're looking forward to because we'll be able to have 3 games at home then. But yeah, they're certainly not easy. But I thought our players played well on the road. I don't think we've ever really been overwhelmed on the road. I think it's a good schedule for our guys, and we get a chance to get off campus a little bit. And as long as we handle our business on the road, I think we'll be okay.
As you guys continue to win, how much does the team pay attention to what the other teams are doing in the SoCon?
I made mention of it a little bit yesterday when I met with the team that, we're just kind of seeing where everybody is at right now. I mean, you look at that Wofford ETSU score. We didn't know where ETSU was at. They played a good Western team and beat them. But, that certainly wasn't a great environment for them to play in. That's a little bit of a tough environment to play in over there. So that could play into that a little bit. And then, you notice the Sanford and the Chattanooga matchup right there. Obviously, we know Chattanooga is a very good football team. I think from there, it's a little bit of a toss-up that we're all trying to, mixed in there, and it's going to be a fight every single week. But there's not there's no gimmies on the schedule, that's for sure, especially in the Southern Conference.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up we'll have Dominique Allen. We'll go straight to questions for him. Remember, we got the microphone if you got a question.
Were you always expecting to take over as a starter?
After that suspension, I wasn't. It definitely kind of put me into a humble state of mind. I really had to go back and kind of rework for everything. Coach Thompson challenged me to, you're suspended first game, and after that, it's not even guaranteed after then. So I really had to go back and spend a lot of time with Coach D, get myself in shape during camp and all off season, really work and really do a lot of studying and get myself back to in the position where I am, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I learned a lot during that time, and I learned a lot not only about myself, about the offense, about the team. And they supported me the entire way. Coach Thompson supported me the entire way. Coach Conti, he supported me the entire way. So it was great. It was a negative and positive experience at the same time. So, but I'm happy where I am and ready to just continue to move forward.
Kind of retake the reins at 3-0, heading back into conference play on the road. What kind of excitement do you have for that challenge?
There's a lot of excitement. I mean, I'm also nervous because I get the meat of the schedule, but it's definitely going to be fun. We go to conference play, go to a great, exciting atmosphere up in Western Carolina, so it's going to be fun. And we just got to keep working like we've been doing these past 3 games, and we got to put together a full game. Like Coach Thompson said, we haven't been able to put a complete game together and really show with the Citadel family what we can do. So once we do that and we're able to continuously do that week in and week out, I think we'll be very productive.
How much do you draw on last year's co-conference title and the success that you had then?
You take a little bit out of it, but, I mean, as far as everything else goes, it's a different year. You got different players playing this year. Western Carolina's got a different quarterback, different coaching staff. So there's a lot of similarities, but, yeah, there's a lot of very differences between the years. So we just got to do our thing where we come to work every day and come to practice with a mentality that we got to earn what we want. So if we can do that and manage to continue to do that day in, day out, week in, week out, and produce on Saturdays, I think we'll be fun.
As you guys continue to win, how much are you paying attention to what teams like Chattanooga are doing every week?
Not a lot. I mean, we don't really focus on what other teams are doing. We focus on ourselves. You can't really get far in anything you do if you're focused on somebody else. I had that problem growing up. I was always worried about what other kids were doing as I was spending time with football practice or going to camps. But, for me to be where I am today, I had to do that. I had to pay attention to myself and do what we had to do to get to where we are. And so for our team, we got to do the same thing. We just got to pay attention to ourselves and practice with a hard mentality and keep doing what we're doing. Thank you.
All right, now we have Tevin Floyd.
Obviously, the defense has gotten a lot of attention, and the past 2 weeks, the offense has come up with big drives late in the game. When your offense goes out there with a chance to win the game like that, how confident is the defense that they can get their job done in that situation?
It's definitely a great confidence booster. Both teams really back each other all the time in the locker room, on the sidelines. You'll see guys marching up and down the sidelines saying how we have each other's back, and that's something we really pride on. Excuse me. In the locker room, it's just something that's neat about our team is that we have each other's back. We're a great family, and I feel like that is what helps us be successful on the field.
Is it to the point right now where the defense feels like if they can keep the offense in the game that they can go ahead and win it there in the fourth quarter?
With the style of play that we play, it's a high chance that we are able to finish games just because of how physical we are, which is it's one of our pillars on the team. So if we could get a team in the fourth quarter, we do feel really great about ourselves.
Tevin, what kind of challenge do you think Western presents that maybe you haven't seen yet this year?
They really, make you respect both aspects of the offensive game, which is the rushing and the passing. Pretty much on every play there's a run-pass option, and if you don't do a good job respecting both of them at the same time, they can gas you for a big play.